Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, All Things Tonya. If you're visiting for the very first time on my channel, I love creating fun, easy, and affordable DIYs. Today I will be making and decorating a tiered tray and adding a bonus DIY that is going to be so much fun to make. I truly hope you enjoyed today's video and would consider subscribing to my channel. We're going to begin today with our bonus DIY, and you would not believe what we will be using to create this DIY today. Yes, we will be using the Dollar Tree wood houses, but one of the supplies that we will be using today cost us absolutely nothing. So let's jump right into this fun DIY. I will be using 4 of the Dollar Tree wood houses in this DIY. I will be using my Waverly antique wax to stain all 4 of the houses. Most of the time when I'm using my Waverly antique wax to stain my projects, I will use a wet paper towel to wipe off the excess wax. This time I will be using a wet paper towel, but I will not be wiping off the majority of the wax because I wanted to have a medium dark look, so I will not be wiping too much of the wax off. Now here is where I really get to have fun with this project. I will be using paper bags that I picked up from Food Lion and Aldi, and I will be using them in this DIY. I am going to give the bag a torn look, and then I am just going to simply add it to my houses. I'm going to use an old brush, and I'm going to brush on some Mod Podge and just apply the paper bag. Once I have used Mod Podge and applied the bags to all of the houses, I am going to use my sanding bar to sand off the bag and to smooth out my edges. I'm loving how these are turning out even before I start to decorate. I picked up this button ribbon from Hobby Lobby for $2.99, and I am going to apply this to the bottom of my houses. Look how cute these are turning out. I'm in love with this button ribbon. I am so glad I picked it up when I saw it. I cut out the vinyl letters using my Cricut. The font is called Chalk Duster, and I'm just going to attach these letters to my signs. I was trying to find just the right font to use with this button ribbon, and I thought the Chalk Duster font was perfect. The combinations that I used in this project worked so well together. The button ribbon, the paper bag, and the Chalk Duster font, they just worked beautifully together and made this project just gorgeous. I think I'm mostly in love with the neutral color and the simplicity of this project. It is so gorgeous. I am really in love with this one, guys. To make my tiered tray, I will be using 4 of these large paint sticks that I picked up from Home Depot, and I will be using 6 of these pallets that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I will be using 3 of the pallets for the bottom shelf of the tiered tray, 2 for the middle, and 1 for the top. To connect the pallets, I will be using Gorilla Glue sticks in my hot glue gun. And then for reinforcement, I will be adding a few tumbling blocks to the back of the pallets. Now that I have all of the pieces for my tiered tray, I am going to start to paint. I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint color Moss, and I'm going to paint the paint sticks using this color, and then I'm going to use my Waverly antique wax to paint the pallets. I'm going to apply the wax using my paintbrush, and then I'm going to use some wet paper towels to wipe away the excess. Now that I have all of my pieces painted, it's time to start gluing everything together. I'm going to start by gluing the paint sticks together first, and then I'm going to add the pallets. To make sure that the paint sticks are the same distance apart on both sides, I'm just going to place the other two on top of the others that I have glued together already, and then glue those two pieces. Now it's time to attach my pallets to my paint sticks, and I will be attaching the two using some wood tumbling blocks. I will glue one side of the tumbling block to the palette and the other side to the paint stick. Now I'm going to repeat the same process for the other two shelves, using the wood tumbling blocks to attach the pallets to the paint sticks. Now this is what my tier tray is looking like so far. All I need to do now is close up the other side, and then we can begin to decorate our tier tray. This was the hardest part for me, I think, because I was trying to be so precise. So I decided to hold the tier tray up with one hand, add glue to the tumbling blocks, and then attach them to the palette and the paint sticks. Once I got all the pieces glued together on the bottom shelf, the rest was very easy. It was so much easier to add the tumbling blocks once the tray was able to stand on its own. Now here's my completed tier tray. I really love how it turned out. I even love the colors that I chose. The two colors together are so perfect. I really love it. I also made a tier tray just like this one for Valentine's Day. It was white and I had a lot of little red and white decor added to my tray, and I thought it turned out beautifully. So if you haven't checked out that video, you may want to go check that one out as well. Now I'm just going to make a few decorative pieces to add to my tier tray. I picked up these tags from Dollar General. I don't remember how much they were, but I'm sure they were under $2. I was going to add this tag to my garland that I'm making, but you will see later on in the video that I changed my mind and decided to use something else instead. I'm still going to show you how I quickly decorated this tag and then use something totally different later on in the video. I'm going to use my glue stick, and then I'm going to attach some scrapbook paper to the front of the tag. I'm going to cut around it with a scissors, and then I'm going to get rid of the excess using my sanding bar. Next, I'm going to take a few natural colored beads along with some green and brown ones that I already have, and I'm going to string them on some jute twine, attach this cute little heart that I decided to use instead of the tag, and make a beautiful garland to hang on my tier tray. Next, I'm going to use this picture frame and this rub-on pack to create another decorative piece for my tier tray. I'm going to use a small piece of this poster board to use for my backing for my rub-on. I'm going to find the wording that I like, cut it out, and then add it to the poster board. Once I've added my rub-on to the poster board, all I have to do is reattach the frame and my picture is completed. Now let me show you my decorated tiered tray.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on my mommy's channel.